Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. So today we're going to talk about chasing norm. All right. So what is that? What is that? I mean, let me start off by asking you this. What do you think, if you're watching this, is the most detrimental and killer of productivity when you're trying to market home care services? Is it laziness? Is it what do you think it is? Let us know down below. What do you think? What do you think is the big problem? Oh, I'm thinking. Oh, here we are. Here we are. All right. All right. So the video is working now. All right. So as I was saying, what do you think is the most detrimental um, and biggest productivity killer there is in in home care sales and marketing? Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about that. One of the things that we have found and that I found in my own career, both, doing sales, recruiting, marketing, as a manager and running large sales teams has, it's always been, I've always found that one of the biggest things or one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they do an activity called chasing norm. So, what is chasing norm? Well, here's what it comes down to. You have you have to go out there and you're going to do your sales. If you're doing your sales the right way, you're visiting quite a large number of accounts. Sometimes, as many as 100, 150 accounts a month. You're contacting them, you're moving along, you're trying to figure out which places are going to work, which ones aren't. You're trying to get a feel, build that almighty know, like, and trust. I gotta tell you, you're doing all of this in the beginning, especially if it's a new agency. You're doing all of this for maybe one or two yeses. All right. That first couple of months is hard. So what tends to happen is with new home care owners, agency owners, or when we're talking about how we're going to work with new marketers, new business developers in this industry, is they set up their schedule. They're going out there. They're going to one, two, three, five places, seven places a day, in an 8-hour period. They're going in one place after another. We don't want to see you. We don't want to talk to you. So eventually the morale starts to dip and they start going after low hanging fruit. They go after the places that are just going to talk to them. And they think I've had a super productive day because I had a great conversation with XYZ facility. Hey, yeah, they sat and we talked for almost an hour. And then they come back. We had a great conversation. So you come back because it made you feel good. And you're going to go back again and again. And next thing you know, you're going through your CRM. You've been going to these places that are doing great. And you've got about a half a dozen, maybe a dozen places that are just sitting there and they're loving you. They're talking to you. They're taking all of your free stuff, your giveaways. And your boss or you yourself, you sit through and you figure it out and you go, hey, how come my business isn't growing? Because what's happened is you've created a situation where you're chasing norm. Those of you who are, I'm going to date myself a little bit here. Those of you who are familiar with the show Cheers, it was a popular show in the 80s and early 90s. And it was about a bar in the Boston area called Cheers. And there was this character named Norm. And every time Norm walked in, everybody cheered and threw their arms up and they saluted him with their beers and they said, Norm. And that feeling was fantastic for him. It was the feeling of acceptance, of belonging, and of being loved and admired. And that's what chasing norm is. your sales team or you yourself or whoever it is that's going out there, you have to be very careful with that. Be careful of chasing norm. That feel good feeling, while it is amazing, it can completely destroy your productivity and set you back sometimes 3, 4, 5 months. So now that we've talked about this, let's talk a little bit about how you fix this. How do we stop chasing norm? How do we make sure that whatever it is we're doing is ultimately going to pan out? Well, one of the things you have to ask yourself is, is this really the right place for you? Do they have the right types of clients that we're looking for? If we're a private pay agency, did we ever bother to ask in the facility, did we do our research? Did we ever sit and go, hey, do you guys do private pay discharges? Is this the referral partner, the social worker, the nurse, the administrator, the concierge, whoever it is you're talking to, whoever it is that's making you feel great every time you show up, do they even know who your client actually is? Are you following the right process and steps in order to ease this transition? Maybe you need to go back to the drawing board, and it might be a good idea for you to prospect and requalify this account. Let's start over. Let's start fresh. Hi, I'm Julio. Nice to meet you again. By the way, I'm here for private pay clients. Do you have any? My ideal client is. Have a clear understanding of that. Who are you looking for? The next thing you want to be mindful of is think back of your conversations. Think back of all those great conversations. Did you guys discuss your mutual fascination with Pokemon action figures and trading cards? Did you talk about slow cooker recipes? Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Who had the best commercials? Or did you actually sit there and walk through what your processes are? Did you walk through how to refer to them, how they can mutually refer to you? Did you set the boundaries that while we can be friendly, this is a business relationship first? I want you to know, like, and trust my company as well as know, like, and trust me to get the job done. Let's work together. Or are you just going by for, that awesome cup of coffee and a great conversation? Now, on the flip side of this, there is a benefit to having accounts like that. Just to recharge your batteries, if you really are that type of person that really needs that level of acceptance. But if you are goal oriented and you're really just trying to build your network, trying to build your accounts, build that business relationship, then chasing norm is killing you and killing your progress. And let's stop and think about this. Now, there's a link below here to where you can actually read the article where we go into a lot more detail on how this is actually killing your productivity and some more actionable tips you can take in order to improve your likelihood. We also want to go over a few quick announcements. Coming up, we're going to be starting mastermind groups that you're going to be able to come to individually to talk about very specific topics, including how to improve your marketing, sales, and recruitment and management processes. And we're also, we're in the middle of a class session right now, Business Development 101 and Home Care Management 101. We have another class coming up next month. Let us know if you're interested. Keep an eye out for that. You can just go to the website, www.thebrionesgroup.com. And, or you can just give us a call right here. Oh, there we go. Here's our phone number, thebrionesgroup.com, and you can always get more information, sign up for our email list, and you'll always be able to stay on top of things as they come along. Hey, Domi, how's it going? Domi, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, if you want to take advantage, take a few minutes. I'll be answering the questions here momentarily. But tell us below, or leave us a comment here. What do you think is really hurting your sales and business development prospects? I know we're in the middle of the pandemic still, or we're at the tail end of it now. And part of it's probably going to be, well, I can't go visit places. You can still build relationships. And even through email and through social media connections and other methods, you are still able to start chasing norm. And that's something that we definitely want to avoid. All right, we don't have any questions. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. We really do appreciate your time, and we hope you got some value and enjoyed this. If you are watching this, feel free, please copy the link, share the post if you're watching this on Facebook or anything else, and or anywhere else, and share the wealth of knowledge. All right, you guys have a great one, and we'll talk to you next time.